I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, I'm delighted to welcome back one of my favorite guests, a very talented author and a terrific guy, Asa Dunnington. He draws from a deeply personal connection to chronicle the unexpected life of his uncle, Emmett Long. In the book, Selectively Lawless, the true story of Emmett Long, an American original. The author takes the reader on a journey through the tumultuous early 20th century, presenting a vivid portrait of a bank robber turned family man, an outlaw who ultimately found redemption. We are delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the folks at Good River Print and Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Asa, so good to see you today, my friend.
Hey, it's good to see you again. Thank you.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you. Let's get to the big headline here. I apparently hear from sources. Sources are telling me Robert De Niro has an Emmett Long connection in an upcoming project. Tell me about that.
Yes, he does. Those of you who have my book can read pages 79 to 82, and you'll find that's when my uncle Emmett met William Hale, who is the character that Robert De Niro plays, at Leavenworth Federal Prison in Kansas. And their association really lasted until Hale passed away in 1962.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
So there's some star power behind your story as well, which is wonderful. Let's tell the folks at home who haven't seen you before on our show what Emmett Long's story is. He was selectively lawless, no doubt. And let's tell the folks a little bit about him.
Well, real quickly, Emmett was a member of a family of a lay minister and a sharecropper. And in his childhood, his youth, he was helping the family pick cotton in Texas, build fences in Texas and Oklahoma. At age 14, he decided he wasn't going to do that anymore. So he left the family in a cotton field in Texas, went to a cousin's home and learned how to play poker. Emmett told me he never sat down to play poker. He sat down to win. Anyway, he used that skill for the next 18 months, traveling across country to acquire the money that he needed to go into his ultimate desire, which was to become a bootlegger. When he came back 18 months later, he had $18,000 in a brand new Buick Roadster. And he immediately launched into his bootlegging business. He controlled the local law in Cache, Oklahoma, which was the Comanche headquarters, by paying the Comanches $1 a piece to vote for his sheriff.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
How do you think, so he had this life that was lawless, everything from bootlegger to bank robber. Then he was able to turn things around. What was his inspiration to turn things around and get on the straight and narrow?
He got married at age 40 and became a father right away. And he married a good woman. She was a school teacher, a barrel racer, and they met at the rodeos that Emmett used to take care of. And Merle, his wife, had a great influence on him in terms of drawing him away from the outlaw Emmett Long to become the cattle rancher and the philosopher and the guy that helped out everybody who needed it.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. He turned it around and became a good person. He found redemption. People admire outlaws on some level, like Emmett Long, like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, if they're not really hurting people. A lot of people were poor in that era, and they kind of almost fantasized about being able to rob banks and make money through bootlegging or do what it takes to get a little extra money on the table. Don't you think that's kind of the reception that people like Emmett Long received?
Even Emmett was a good friend of Pretty Boy Floyd.
Hmm.
And Pretty Boy Floyd, of course, robbed banks a lot in Kansas City and thereabouts. And he told Emmett, when he was counseling Emmett to go into the bank robbing business, he said, the first thing you want to do is take the mortgages out of the safe and burn them.
Yeah. And that's going to win him some fans, right?
Kind of a Robin Hood.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Christianity played a role in Emmett Long's reform as well.
Well, yes, his dad was a lay minister, and even though Emmett was an outlaw, I never heard him swear, and he didn't even sample the products that he produced. So he was a unique individual in that case.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me about writing the book. How long did it take you to write it? Obviously, you heard some family stories, but you had to do a lot of research as well, correct?
Well, I met Emmett when he was 65 years old. And I think he had reached the point in life where he wanted to tell his life story. We spent a week together in Cuesta, New Mexico, and I just stayed by his side for that week, and he divulged the whole story. But I couldn't tell it at that time, Logan, because he killed 4 people, and I had to wait till he passed away. And once I heard that he had passed away, fortunately, I had retained all that information without taking notes or making any recordings. And in 10 days, I sat down and wrote 12,000 words, and that was the beginning.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think Selectively Lawless would be quite an interesting movie. I think people would be interested in watching his story come to life. What do you think about that?
Yes, Emmett was the most fascinating character I ever met. He was, I think, a good man despite his roles in life, but he was a good judge of character. He had good common sense, and he had guts. And I think anybody would be interested in knowing more about a man like that.
What actor do you think would play Emmett Long?
I think Russell Crowe.
Okay.
And the reason I would pick him is he kind of has Emmett's personality.
Gotcha.
He would have to trim up a little bit, though, because Emmett was 6'1" and 215 in pretty good shape all of his life.
We'd have to get a young Russell Crowe to play Emmett Long, because Russell Crowe has changed over the years, that's for sure. But I know what you're saying, a guy who's got a personality where you can see him being a great guy and you can see him being a bad guy, see him being physically imposing and have the characteristics of the hero / anti-hero. Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be terrific. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, the name of the book is Selectively Lawless: The True Story of Emmett Long, an American Original. It is a wonderful story that'll take you through the early 20th century, presenting a vivid picture of a bank robber who later turned family man, an outlaw who found redemption. It is a wonderful book that has been meticulously researched by Asa Dunnington, who just happens to be related to that bad guy, Emmett Long, turned good guy. But Asa Dunnington for sure is a good guy. Asa, thanks so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for coming back. And I hope we get to meet someday.
That'd be great. That'd be great. I used to go to that part of the country a lot, Indiana. My son was living and working in Kalamazoo. So I used to take the drive from New York City out to Kalamazoo, Michigan, and pass through Indiana. So eventually our paths will cross. It'd be nice to meet you, my friend. Thanks so much for your time today. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.
Thank you, Crawford.